Hey YouTube, this is Prometheus giving you guys more than the meta. I'm going to be playing more online ranked games using the Miami Dolphins, and this game is an interesting one because it's one of those games where I just came to the conclusion not to outsmart myself and just do what my opponent doesn't like and not try to be have a sophisticated type of a defense. He's the Kansas City. I'm playing Miami, and right here in a 3rd and 13 situation, he throws, and I actually intercept him, pick him off, and get the ball down to the 24-yard line. So he was running a lot of man meta stuff. So I think he's running a lot of man zone coverages and man blitzes and stuff like that. So it was one of those things where you had to make sure that you had all of your man offensive schemes broken down. And in particular, this is my Miami playbook scheme that I have that I'm using against my opponent, and it was a situation where I basically was just kind of like chewing this guy up offensively. Defensively, I'm using the Las Vegas Raiders defense, and he went with a wide, like just a spread empty set type formation. So that's a particular offensive set that I struggle with, and what it does is it forces me into a defense that I typically don't like to run, is solely man coverage. But right here actually underthrows his wide receiver, and I get another interception. So this game is getting really ugly for this guy, especially considering I basically kick the ball to him, and it's the type of situation where he's going to be behind the 8 ball, and I can milk the clock against this guy. But he was using a lot of aggressive blitzes. Right here, broken tackle. As I said, he was using a lot of zero blitzes, and Hill was able to go and take it in. I got a little bit smug, and tried to go ahead and do a 2-point conversion, but actually did not convert on that. So, up by 2 scores right here. He's able to go ahead and hit a little crosser right here in this type of situation. He had a seam route in that type of situation, and he's able to go and get his first real major completion. Right here, he throws right in the middle of 2 defenders. So this guy's making a lot of risky throws where he's throwing at, and then he comes right back here to basically a route which is a up and go. Gets a 3rd and 10 situation, goes with trip set, takes a shot up top in this type of situation, actually gets past my defender. I think I was in a zone coverage, and as a result, he's able to go ahead and get a touchdown and make this into a game. So he's back into this 3-3 nickel defense. I run to the outside with my running back because he's bunching up his defensive line in that type of situation. So I'm just going to go ahead and stay with a stretch to the outside. That's one of the reasons why I call a stretch. Right here, he's got basically the box set up. He's got the edge set with the outside guy, but I think he flipped into some type of a zone coverage. That's why I'm going to go ahead and attack the opponent with that little wheel route with the tight end. That's a money route for me. That's something that's in my scheme in my Miami playbook. So if you want to go ahead and get more information about how I run this and how I read things, just go to my Patreon. Right here, I go and hit the whip route on the backside with Waddle, and I get the ball down to the 35-yard line with a little quick whip. And as you can see, he's sending a lot of heavy, aggressive pressure to me. Back outside, I try to flip it back inside. He gets me with a tackle. Back to the outside again. I'm taking a look at the tight end. The tight end is not open, but I've got basically a backside route right here with the post switch concept, and I'm able to go up and buy another score. So in this type of situation, he's been throwing a lot of balls long, so what I decided to do is just to house this guy with a blitz. I'm going to send basically 7 people after him. So I went into a 34 odd. I was concerned about the flat on the backside, but he actually picks up the blitz, hits the crosser with Kelsey, and actually gets a nice thing right there. So basically he goes ahead and no huddles, and I jump into, I think, a bear defense, which is basically a cover 2 inverted defense. He throws the flat, makes a fast read. So this guy, he's processing things really quick. What I noticed in this gameplay is that he really struggled with man coverages, and I was using kind of hybrid coverages just to kind of catch him off guard. Right here, goes with a little run, doesn't have anything to do with that, so he only picks up a yard. So 3rd and 6 situation. back to trying to set up some type of a blitz. I go with the blitz again, just to try to go ahead and catch him off guard. He does the tight end bunch formation with the bench concept. So I know some of the top Madden users and pros have been using this defense, and right here you can see he gets a nice little broken tackle and takes it into the house because I went with a very aggressive blitz. So what I'm learning right now is basically I got to stop trying to I got to get out of some of these different, switching up these defenses against this guy because he's going to no huddle me, and I got to make sure that I play my defenses a little bit cleaner. So going back to my switch concept out of the single back doubles close right here, I had the running back wheel and I misread it, and I actually throw the opposite side. I think he shaded inside, and as a result he picks me off, and now it's 21-19. And I let this guy back in the ball. I can tell you when that happened, I was screaming. I was so pissed off because it just felt like this guy he's not he wasn't like a player that I'm like I was scared of. He was a player that I just felt like he got a lucky break in that type of situation. It was just it was a bad read by me. So back at it right here, hit him with a curl flat concept because he was running a lot of man coverages, and hit the outside. Go to the outside with my running back and able to go ahead and pick up a first down on a 1st and 10. Back at it again. I'm going to go ahead and streak up. I've got an out route, an in route, a whip route. I come back to the outright. I get a nice little completion, and Hill's able to go ahead and take the ball up. I want to milk the clock a little bit. I want to take this clock down as much as possible. I don't want to give this guy any kind of time, so he doesn't take any timeouts whatsoever, and as a result, I go ahead and get the ball down with 14 seconds left. Go back to basically a double switch concept, and the switch concept on the back side, you can always hit that little wheel depending on the coverages. So hard flats will take that out. Sometimes cover 4 covers will take that out, but that's a play that I like to use down in the red zone. So second half right here, basically 26 to 21. I'm pretty much scoring anytime that I want against this guy. Hit the little outside out route because his positioning of his defender was outside there. Usually I do a drag, they go the opposite direction, but because he's playing so much man coverage and it's the wide side of the field, that's why I decided to do the out. And I'm going to try to work the clock as much as possible. I don't want to let this guy back in the game. So I got a basically slant streak concept, miss the streak with the running back, just threw that ball early. If I would have waited just a split second more, I probably would have hit it. Got the little whip on the backside with Waddle, and Waddle's able to go and take the ball down to the 6-yard line. He pitches his guys up. I've got a stretch built in, so I'm able to go and cut the ball back up and get it in the end zone. So that's a great thing about having a dive stretch concept, is that if you hit the guy with a dive enough, basically he's going to do this. So now I run into cover 4 coverage, and here's what I just discovered. He's been struggling with man coverage. I go ahead and blend into zones to try to catch him off guard. And anytime I blend into zone, this guy gets a one-play touchdown. So I'm just, right here, I'm just saying, I'm telling myself in that situation, I get back on defense again, I am never going to be running any more zone again. I'm just going to play strictly man coverage and try to pick up at those tendencies. I'm going to completely ditch any kind of zone coverage and just play man. And let him beat me with man. And let him, if he wants to run the ball, fine. And autopilot, because this guy's defense is just horrendous. He's only playing man coverage. And usually that's like a tell when you're playing against an opponent. If they play a particular defense against you, a lot of times what happens is that's a defense they personally struggle against. So use it, if a guy's running a particular defense against you, you might want to consider using it against them and see how they react to it. So I decided to go into cover 2. And basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to user the blitzing linebacker, which is a safety. And then I'm going to go ahead and take one of my rushing defensive linemen and actually put them in a curl flat or a flat, just to go ahead and get those guys dropping up into coverages. And I need the deep zones because he's thrown over my coverages on numerous occasions. And I want to make those deep zones stay over the top to make sure I can protect myself for the one-play plot, because this guy is going to do this. And if he wants to run, he can do that. I'm up by 2 scores, and he hasn't shown any way to be able to stop my offense. Please, run all you want. So here's flat coverage off to the right. I've got the wide side of the field. I want a flat to go out there to take away anything underneath. I've got my overtop coverage. I'm going to protect the left side of the sticks right here. So you can see right here, I come back. I take a wrong angle right there, but you can see I almost picked that off. Back, first and 10 situation. Once again, I've got a guy on the flat route right here. He throws over the top, and I'm going to go ahead and knock it out. Thanks to I got a bracketed coverage to go and stop that. Got a guy floating out right here. I want to go and protect this. He takes a shot over the top. He did get over my coverage, but he just missed through the ball because he's probably running to the outside. Once again, trip is set right here, and my man underneath, I shaded him inside, and Howard's able to go and pick that off and take him for a pick six. I love it. I love it. I love it. So anytime you get a pick six, it's great. You just take points off. You put points in your pocket and take possession and points off the board against him. So now this guy's in a serious bind. He's down by 2 scores. I can just go ahead and go in pilot mode right here. You can see he spreads everybody out. I've got coverages out here, inside coverages. He actually throws the ball up and gets it knocked out because I've got defenders in the area. Basically 3 different defenders. Right here he's got basically a concept right here where he's got a corner out. Actually a pretty damn good read right there with a corner out. So this guy's using a lot of the pro meta, using these bunch sets, a lot of these different route combinations that a lot of players like to use, the pros. But the pros are good at it. So right here, I user away and pick off this one guy. I'm going to go ahead and just take off. He just stops. I guess this guy was frustrated. He's probably in a point right now where he struggles against man coverages, and he's just like, all right, I got to figure out how to play against man coverages. I can't just keep getting housed like this. So I've been there before. I'm playing against someone on their defense. I just couldn't figure it out. Right here, another crossing route. I've got inside shade. Throws another interception. So this guy is he's just frustrated. You know, in real life, you're not going to have Patrick Mahomes throwing this type of bad stuff. It's just, I should have never got away from man coverage. So it's always good, like, you know, keep it simple, stupid. Don't get yourself out of it. If you see a defense initially that your opponent is struggling against, stay in that defense until they can figure it out. You know, don't try to outsmart your opponent. Don't blend stuff in if it's not necessary. And I quickly learned that afterwards. Thank God this guy didn't have good defense, because if he had good defense, he'd be in some serious trouble. So right here, I try to hit the slant, didn't get the yardage to actually get it back, so I'm going to get him back on defense. But currently right now, this guy has no answer to it. And look, throws another interception right here, another pick six. I had 3 pick sixes in this game, basically running this basic man defense. He didn't know what to do with it. It's like he tried it. I had the guy going out in the flat. It was just messing him up. I got a block shed sack right here. 61-28 against this guy. So I'm just feeling really good about the defense right here. Double move. He's, you know, I don't know. It's not like he's got a ton of pressure coming his way, but right here he does get a completion because I've got my guys pressed. I don't think I did over the top coverage, so I didn't get a clean release. He takes off this quarterback, knocks the ball out. Get another turnover in this type of situation with this man defense. And right here, I'm just going to go ahead and try to milk the clock as much as possible. Quick out, nobody's in there. Yeah, I think a safety is supposed to play basically that responsibility. Go ahead and take it in. Going up basically 68-28. So this is one of the bigger shells in the game, but a lot of it has to do is that this guy basically just struggled against this man coverage. He couldn't figure it out. And when you just don't want to outplay yourself when you're playing against an opponent that struggles against their defense, you just want to stick with the fundamentals. So once again, guys, thank you for your support. I really appreciate it. If you want to see my offensive playbook for Miami, go ahead and go to my Patreon. Got a full breakdown of that offensive playbook. I'm going to be doing a part 2 of it, where it's going to be more shotgun and more run-oriented stuff. But I love this scheme. Gives me reads against zone coverages, man coverages, and all that kind of stuff. And it's just a very in-depth stuff. So once again, thank you for your support, guys. Until next time.